Yo, what's happening? This is Late Night CJ, and we back at it once again. Now, as a father, I feel it is my obligation, my privilege, to be an example in my home with my children, to let them see directly how a man moves. That's why I've coined this little acronym, GMB, Grown Man Business. That's not just pay bills, things like that. It's showing how a man moves. Now, when it comes to this, y'all like, why are you bringing this up, man? I'm gonna get to that right now. I watched this clip and I immediately felt, I don't want to say triggered, but my antennas went up and I was like, I don't know how I feel about this. Check this out.
Let him talk about it, but he had fun. University of Texas, football and baseball. You want to talk about it?
Yeah, so I had a really good time there. I'd really be happy going there in the future. But yeah, I really had a good time going there and going with my dad. Just a really good experience for me and him, yeah.
Now, on one hand, I look at Russell Wilson and I look at it as that man stepped up. Kudos to him. As far as the public eye, I don't see no delineation between the young man and his children that he has with Sierra. He stepped up. He has brought him in as his own. He's raising him as his own. He's going on trips with him. I mean, and the boy even calls him dad. That right there is the part that is like, what are we doing right here? Now, for those who don't know the backstory, Sierra, the mother of the young man, had a child early on in her career with a rapper named Future. She was so enamored with this rapper, Future, she even named their child Future, which is crazy. I've heard of people naming their kids the same thing as themselves and all that, and Junior and the third and all of that, but I've never heard of somebody naming a child after their stage name. But anyhow, she is one of many baby mamas, when they got together, that Future has. Now, most of it would end there. She had a marginal career. Most people, it ends there and then they go something else or maybe nothing at all. But she went up, married an NFL Super Bowl quarterback. Actually won the MVP of the Super Bowl. You understand me? And their life went on. They had more children, got married, became a family, a blended family. And Mr. Wilson stood up. He did not say, oh, he got a daddy that's around. He got a daddy that's making paper. His daddy can be in the picture. I ain't tripping. When his daddy did not step forward, Mr. Wilson stood right up, 10 toes down, and came up and be like, you know what? It's not fair to this young man that his daddy is a clown. This is my wife. I married her. Her son was with her when we got married. So now I will step up. His daddy, I will give him his propers as the biological father. And if he wants a relationship, that's up to him and his son. But until then, I'm not going to leave his son lacking. I'm going to step up as a responsible black man. Grown man business. But this is the part that kind of I'm like, as a man, should you allow this boy, this young man, to call you dad when he has a living, breathing father? At some point, I feel like, young fella, I think you should try to forge a relationship with your real father. I am your father figure, but you have a real daddy. Now, if that young man takes it upon himself and be like, you know what, you right, I'ma call him. And his daddy sends him the voicemail. He texts him and his daddy leaves him on scene. He DMs him and no response. How much can that little young man take as far as rejection when you are standing right there? So I get it how Mr. Wilson steps forward and be like, you know what? If your daddy want to be a clown, if your daddy want to be a buster, if your daddy want to be a mark, that is not how you should see a grown man. Let me show you some of this grown man business here. Let me show you how a successful man moves. Let me show you how a man commits to his family. Let me show you how a man commits to his wife. Let me show you how a man doesn't create baby mamas, but actually creates a full family dynamic. Handles his business, is successful in the public eye, ain't got no women running around talking about, I'm pregnant by him. Stefon Diggs, that wasn't a shot. I'm just giving y'all some context. This is how a man moves. And if I want more young men to step up, then I have to be the example, even if I have to be hands-on, even if I have to step in to an uncomfortable position, even if I have to step in to a position that really isn't naturally mine. Biologically mine, but this is my community, so all my efforts count. And finally, Mr. Future, how ironic. This right here, sir, is not an indictment on Mr. Wilson. This is an indictment on you, sir. You have a young man. Your blood looks like a combination of you and your former woman walking around on this earth healthy with a future, no pun intended, and you are not trying to be active. And I don't want to hear, no, well, she won't let me. Man, that is the most cowardly example of not grown man business that men try to use. She won't let me. Man, if you don't get into court and quit acting like a mark, you got the paper. Now, I can see a brother that's working at Lowe's stocking the light bulb shelves talking about, I don't have enough money to go to court. And I can see that. But you, sir, you got the paper, because don't you? The only rapper that got more kids than you was probably NBA YoungBoy, and you a close second. Get in this boy's life. Now, if you backed off because you know you a mark, you know you a buster, you know you a clown, and it would be better for him to be with them, and you made the sacrifice in grown man business rules to be like, I don't have it together, I'm on narcotics, I'm drinking lean, he is with a healthy family, they over there almost like vegans and all of that, and he's in there going to college, all he gonna learn from me is the worst in a man, then I applaud you for taking a step back and allowing your child to get some real guidance. But if that ain't it, then you are exactly everything that I said before, and I stand on it. Grown man business. The point of it all, don't allow somebody to step in a position that you can actually be a part of. Now, if you know you ain't about nothing, and you make that sacrifice for your children, then that's what a parent does. It doesn't look good for you, but that's what I would imagine anybody would do. Maybe. I don't know. I'm confused. But this is Late Night CJ. Like, comment, subscribe, tell a friend. 100.